I've come on today to tell you about a personal story. My skin was never the best as a teenager. I had a lot of breakouts myself, and my granddad had suffered similarly. And then when my son got to his teenage years, he was probably about 13, 14, it was quite evident that he had the same skin as us. So as he got older, he got more and more breakouts. They got worse and worse. And as a beauty therapist at the time, I was trying all the cosmetic treatments that I could, and I couldn't get it under control. So I took him to our GP, and the GP put him on long-term antibiotics initially. So I felt as though I'd failed because I couldn't help him as a beauty therapist. He was constantly getting reminded of his skin at school. Thankfully, he is quite a strong character and he was quite well liked. So he used to sort of give as good as he got, if you like, and stood up to these people. But I appreciate that not everyone would find that easy. He had a typical diet of a teenager, probably wasn't eating as well as he should do. And as a parent, emotionally, I felt like a failure. And as a beauty therapist, I felt like a failure even more so. So this went on for a couple of years, and it got to a point where he would move his head and you could actually see the cysts underneath his skin, especially sort of like on his jawline and his neck. So I decided to take him back to the GP, and he said, you know, it'd gone to cystic acne and that we needed to go and see a dermatologist. So we waited for the appointment and we got to see the dermatologist, and it was actually the same dermatologist that I'd used when I was a teenager. So that was quite interesting. He was very professional, and he said that Harry needed to go on to Roaccutane. He felt he gave us leaflets to read. He told us to go away and have a think about it before the next appointment. So I read the leaflets, and obviously the drug is quite a significant drug, and some of the side effects are quite scary. So when we went back to the dermatologist, he said that he would not put Harry on it until the winter time, and that we would not be able to have any holidays booked. I've realised that he was quite responsible with his approach, because it doesn't seem like all of the dermatologists or that are recommending this drug check those things out. So I was lucky that they did check all those things out. I was very worried about Harry's mental health because of what I'd read in the leaflets. So I went to my GP and discussed that with him, and he helped to put my mind at rest. We also knew about the side effects. So when Harry went on to the drug, it was in the autumn, and he started getting very dry lips. They were so dry all of the time. He literally had to carry something with him to moisturise his lips all of the time. They were dry, they would crack in the winter. They were really, really dry. He had nosebleeds quite regularly. He would wake up with nosebleeds sometimes. He had a lot of aches and pains, and he was a keen sportsman, and he did a lot of football, but he used to suffer a lot with aches and pains in his joints. He also had to have blood tests regularly to check that the drug wasn't affecting his body too much, and to make sure that the levels were staying within the parameters they should be. It did clear up the acne. Within about 6 months, I'd say, it cleared up his acne, and he doesn't really suffer with spots now as a result of that. But the reason I've come on here is to explain to you that personal story and how, you know, I felt as a beauty therapist, I felt a failure. As a parent, I felt like a failure, and I felt guilty that I'd given him that skin because I felt like he'd got it from me. And I know that's not a rational way to think, but that was how I felt. So over a period of time, I have specialised in skin, and as a skin professional now, I feel that if Harry was my child now, there are some things that I would have done differently. What I would have done was I would have first of all got him to a skin professional. I would have got him to start using some medical grade cosmeceuticals that work on those deeper layers to see if that would help. I would also get him LED light therapy to try to manage the P. acne bacteria, so hopefully the acne wouldn't progress into that cystic acne. And I would also look at supplements for him because his diet wasn't the best. Teenagers are teenagers, aren't they? And you can't always tell them. So I would suggest that he had some supplements. I would try all of those things together before taking him to a dermatologist if I was in that position now. And I would see going to the dermatologist as a last resort. I have experienced in my job people with just sort of breakouts on their chin and half a dozen, you know, spots on their chin, going to the dermatologist and being offered Roaccutane. And I really feel that there's a lot that skin professionals can help with this. So please, if you have acne, or if your child has acne, please go down this route and sort of explore what there is out there, what there is available. But please use a skin professional rather than going onto a website and just buying ingredients randomly, because the skin professional will be able to help you to save money in the long run, because the products that they suggest for you or for your child will be targeted for those individual problems. So that's my experience of Roaccutane with my son, and I hope you've enjoyed watching that, and take care. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.